Don't kill life without justification given to you from God. Don't do this bad thing, don't steal, don't do that, don't look down upon your brothers, don't be arrogant and ignorant and this and that. Now this is a teaching which is called universal. It does not vary from religion to religion. So according to the Holy Quran, all such teachings remain intact in all religions. So when we say they are corrupted, it does not mean that all their moral teaching also is corrupted. But fundamental teachings, as I have just mentioned, are also contained entirely in the Quran. So although you believe in those books, it does not still mean that you are in need of those books. Because Quran in one single effort has retained everything of beauty for you in one single book. So why should you go on reading other books in search of light when all the light they could offer you variously from different angles has been contained and preserved in the Holy Quran? You understand this? Some teachings are good for the time only. That is what I said, time-related teachings. They have some benefit which is related to the time when they were revealed. But they can't be called universal teachings, and they are not, cannot be implemented universally or for all times to come. For instance, the teachings of Jesus Christ that when you are slapped on one side of the one cheek, offer the other cheek to your enemy, and when somebody grabs your shirt, also offer the cloak. Now this is the Christian teaching on human conduct when somebody tries to dispossess you of your rights. The answer is, don't defend your right. Offer even that which has not been snatched by you by your enemy. Now this teaching was not universal because it cannot apply to every situation and it cannot be practiced for all times to come, even by Christians. Where is this teaching practiced? Tell me, in one single country of Christianity. So that itself shows that this teaching was time related only. So the Holy Quran has not contained this. You see, it has left out all those teachings which were time related. Again, it has left out those parts of injunctions, or not injunctions, but those parts of doctrines which have been interpolated. Remember this, although it is too early for you to discuss such high-flown serious matters, but still I know the standard of intelligence here in this class is quite high. You will be able to digest what I am telling you. Yes, the boys are nodding, yes, we are quite intelligent. MashaAllah. You see, although some teachings like I have just mentioned, moral teachings for instance, they remain intact without corruption. Some were corrupted indeed. Why? Because it was the corrupt people who out of their own personal ends distorted the teachings of Allah. And such interferences are made more often in the area of doctrines, in the area of beliefs, than in the area of practices. You see, that is why the practices, practices, the teachings regarding practices does not vary as much from religion to religion in the fundamental code of human conduct, as in the area of doctrines. For instance, even if you go to the far eastern religions, they will still tell you, you tell the lie, don't tell the lies, be truthful, be honest to others, be mindful of others' rights, don't usurp other people's properties, etc., etc. So this is what I mean by fundamental teachings. And they have all been contained by the Holy Quran. But when you go into the realm of theories and doctrines and beliefs, then you find such wide differences. In one area you find a religion teaching you that God is just one insplitable, indivisible, one single entity, and it cannot be added on to. And yet later on, in a different historical period of the same religion, you find the claim made that God is one but three, one in three. God is Father and Son and the Holy Ghost, and they're three and one in three, and Trinity and all that, you know. And this fruit is born on the tree of Judaism, which emphasizes the unity of God so uncompromisingly. Then you turn to India and you find religions with the concept of so many gods. Then you turn to Japan and then you begin to conceive a God which has permeated the entire universe and symbolizes himself in the form of the king, the sovereign becomes God, and so on. So why such changes in the area of theory, while in the area of human relationship there are no changes? Which means that originally it was the single source of God which revealed all these religions, and where no change was acceptable by the society because the human moral were ingrained in their character. No attempt was made to change the teachings on the morals. Where remote areas of theories and philosophies were concerned, where common man could not judge whether somebody is telling him the right thing or wrong thing. Areas of high-flown doctrines and things and myths and philosophies, there the scribes or the elders of the religion who were dishonest, who wanted to build their own, introduce their own concept of God and angels, etc. into the religion, they were very free to do whatever they wanted to do, to play havoc with the religious texture, etc. So the differences began to appear in those areas. And the Holy Quran rejected all that was wrong and only contained that which was right. So in this sense, when you believe in the books, now I'm coming back to the question, and I have built all this introduction to warn you against some misunderstandings about our belief in books, and to be able to defend your belief against those who will say, in one breath you say, well, you believe in the book, in the other breath you begin to disagree with the book. How would you accept this attitude? This is nonsensical, this is hypocritical. That is why I have taken pains to explain the whole background. Why we agree and where do we agree, and where we disagree and why. We have every logical reason to disagree. Because if we agree also with the diverse theories and the diverse doctrines, then we will have to disbelieve in God. Because you can't believe a God to have given one teaching to one religion, another to another, about himself, differing, disagreeing with himself, about his own concept. So that is why the logic demands that when religions are at variance with each other, then even if they were originally right, and that is only which we maintain, they were originally right. Only accept that of those religions which belongs to the sources, which is unchangeable, which has no contradiction in itself, and reject the remaining. And for that the Holy Quran has come at the end as judge. An unchangeable book. The book